Alright, what's up? So, this one I'm gonna fix my kernel. Okay. Um, hmm. I'm gonna simulate this, I guess, because I really can't. I could, but I don't really want to fix it over here, but I do want to show you what to do in case you ever got bogged down into it. And it can be a kind of a mind wrecker because, we really don't have too much to work with on our machine. So I'm going to say mount SDA7. I'm going to mount that to SDA. This is my Linux from scratch partition. I'm going to mount ARC. I'm going to mount that and we'll go take a peek after I get these commands right. I get type ext3 dev SDA 7 to mount SDA 7. Okay. Now I could chroot in, but I'm going to chroot in, but I won't be able to really pull up any drivers. Although that's not true either. So I don't know. I don't know how accurate I can actually represent this to be, but it's going to be pretty accurate, very, very accurate. So let's say chroot, chroot to mount SDA 7. I'm going to say with bin bash. I could say login, but I don't know. Okay. So now I'm in my machine. Okay. I'm in my machine. I'm in my LFS machine. And cd into root. Okay. I'm here in my machine. Now, notice we don't have stuff like ifconfig. That's not ifconfig. It's sort of like ifconfig, but not really. Okay. Modprobe doesn't. I don't even think I have a device mounted. Maybe that'll work. Modprobe doesn't show anything. Okay. And what I'm getting at is when you reboot and you get those errors, it says that ethos is gone or eth0 is gone, and stuff like that. Now, where we put our etho was in sysconfig. Okay. It took me a while to get this down. It was a little pain in the butt here. It was the sysconfig, and we have the config file right here. Okay, you can see it right there. And that really threw me off. Okay. You could say something like nstat or nstat. Okay, and it's kind of like, I want to kind of say it's a device, but it's not really. I don't know what nstat is. I don't know what it is, but I do know when everything's working right, you should get something going on there. Okay. Or I think maybe net status or something like that. Okay, like sort of like a net stat, but I don't want to say net stat either because it's that net stat's a part of a package that we got. You can say what was the other command here? Ifstat. You can do that. Okay. Now, I don't have any GPM. It's not gonna work. I wish I had some GPM for a pointer to show you, but I kinda don't. So, check this out. If you look all the way over to the left of the screen, clear this up. If you look all the way to the left of the screen, you'll see lows up, okay? And I want you to forget about eth0 down there, okay? Because that's picking up my drivers now. I'm recording on Slackware, so that's picking up my drivers from Slackware, okay? And that's what you may have if you didn't put in any drivers and whatever like that. Now I put in drivers, but my drivers weren't the default drivers that I guess LFS 7.3 was looking for. Okay. and it had some drivers already, and it didn't pick up the ones I needed. All right. So you might have a low interface, okay, or your loopback. Now you can ping that and see if that works. If you say ping count 3, we'll say 127.0.0.1, okay, and if you get that back, you should have some connectivity going on, okay, so you have something, but you don't have your drivers for your etho and wireless if you have a wireless, okay. So that's the type of problem that I ran into, and it really kind of boggled me. And it always helps to Google the error, okay? Google the error, Google what you got. So for instance, mine, I think I Googled iFace no such device, okay? No such device or something like that. And of course I put it with Linux, LFS, and I got that, and it says that there's no kernels in the driver for that. Okay, that's what gives off that error. So that means that you have to put them in. Now, another thing is too, according to the book, I forget what section it was, but according to the book, it said that we had to make this file here, okay? The etc sysconfig, we had to make our Ethernet files in here, okay? And that's a little different than 6.8. I think maybe they started at about 7 or 7.1. I'm not sure. It looks like that according to the documentation. Okay, that's a little bit different. Okay, cat network. You want to make sure that that's correct. Okay, so there's a myriad of things, but if you followed the book, you should be okay. The only thing that maybe you might be lacking is some drivers. Okay. All right. So 2. The way I found out what drivers I need, because I don't have modperb, or I have modperb but it shows nothing. LSmod doesn't show anything. Okay, actually proc modules can't be found. That's because I'm chrooted in. Okay, and I didn't bind anything. So you could do that. I found nothing on them, and that was kind of disheartening. Okay, and I really racked my brain up about it. You can go into module, or you can cat modules here. Cat modules, right? I forget what this does. Let me back out of that. You can go into, well, CD backup, and let me see, udev, CD into udev, okay? And if you remember, according to the book, we had to set up some boot scripts, okay? So if you CD into udev, and then you CD into rules, okay, you'll see a couple things in here. And you can say cat persistent net rules, okay? And in here, this is the automatically generated script for us that came with the boot script. Okay, I got stuck on this for a while too. I didn't know if this was actually correct or not, because I had a system on my 7 or 6.3. I had to make the persistent net rules, and I ended up screwing it up, but it wasn't auto-generated. Okay, so what this script does, I guess it's supposed to read your kernel drivers. Okay, it's supposed to read your drivers for your network device, and the bottom strings there where it says subsystem net action, all that stuff like that, it's not really eventful. Okay, the only thing you can pick out of it is maybe your MAC address or whatever like that. Alright? But I was certain that this was a little screwed up, and it wasn't. It wasn't. Okay? And the only thing I did pick out of it was the driver name. Okay? So that's kind of a plus. And you can see the driver name by the net device. It's called, net device. Or actually the device name and then you go get the drivers for that. But I think with a lot of systems, they have a 8102 or something, I don't know. But those two right there should be your device names, okay? If you ran it according to the init or the LFS boot scripts. I think it was the boot scripts. Whichever one deals with persistent rules and everything else like that. Okay? So you should get something like that. Now, that's okay. The good thing is it found two devices for me. Okay? It found both my devices. Okay? And at the time when I built this, it probed and it found those. So that's okay. But the problem is that if I go to init or etc init.d, or I go back up here, go into sysconfig, the problem is that I only have one device here, which is a Ethernet 0, okay, or only my Etho, okay. So that kind of screwed me up for a little bit, and I did some maneuvering with that. And it's not hard at all, not hard at all. In earlier LFSs, there was a directory in here. It's called network I think devices, okay. Network devices, and under that I think there was a IPv4 configuration file. Alright, but in this LFS they changed it. Which actually, I don't know, I guess I'll have to change that if I wanted to upgrade my 6.8 machine. I guess I'm going to have to change that all around too. But anyway, you hear if you have two cards according to your etc udev rules 70 persistent rules, if you have two devices there, I can see cut that out. If you have two devices there, which I do, okay, you obviously want them both to work. So this is what you can do. We know that Etho is already named, right? And we know that because we have, where you see name down there, you got kernel, ethol, and name, etho, okay? You know that they exist. They've been named those, okay? Don't really want to change them, right? But you can say copy for both ifconfig etho. We're going to copy that to ifconfig Wylino, okay? And then let's edit the ifconfig Wylino script. And then here we specify, just as the book said, we have on boot interface. Change the interface of the Wylino card naturally to Wylino, okay? You want to change the IP too, okay? So I'm going to change mine to 2. Your gateways and everything else like that, they should all stay the same. No biggie, unless you have something else you want to do. Okay, so now we have two configuration files, okay, and these have to be read, and I thought they had to be executable, and they don't have to be executable, okay. We can cd into etc init.d, okay, and we can cat out the network script that's in here. I'll put that through less. And I thought maybe there was a problem with this. That wasn't the case either. As you can see here, right under the case statement, it says start all network interfaces for file in etc sysconfig ifconfig all. Alright, so we got etho and Wylino. Okay, do interface blah blah blah. You know, skip spin if up down, if up, all that stuff like that. Okay, and I did that for a while. I said if up. Okay, if you hit it when it's up, it could go down, something like that. Var run boot log. Okay, you're not going to get that many errors because I don't have var and everything mounted. But that's the type of stuff that you'll run into, or you could run into, if you had the same problems as I did. Let's say udev retry. What is that? Cat udev retry. Ooh, I don't know. So those are the type of things that you could run into. Okay, and by list modding, you can't get a list mod. Mod perb. Can't get a mod perb. Well, can I say ATH 9K? How about, what is my Ethernet, which is Realtek 8196? I think that's way off. Okay. But those are the type of things that you could run into. See, Etsy, udev, rules, and let me say cat rules persistent. 70 persistent. 8169. Ah, was close. But these are, if state, these are the rules that are generated. So you're okay with that. Okay? If you have this, that's a plus. But look at the two driver names. Okay? Like I said, I have a ATH9K. Okay? That's an Atheros card. And I have a Realtek 8169. Okay? I could say mod perb on that. Mod perb or 8169. Yeah. Or list mod on that, but I doubt that would happen because I don't have any of that going on. List mod. No, I don't have that. Errors, yeah. Okay, so list mod perb, you know, see if you got anything going on. But if you had the same problem I did, then you won't. Okay. So in the next one I'm going to show you how I solved that problem, and go from there. But unlike other kernels, this kernel, Unimore, oh, it's picking up my Slackware kernel. That's okay. This kernel is different, and that it doesn't really detect all the drivers that I thought it would. Okay, I never really had a problem with any other install, but then again, this is the first time I've really put LFS on here. So 6.8, I had a problem with the kernels on that too. I'm assuming it's the problem with the kernels on that, or with the drivers on that, because I'm having the same exact problem with 6.8 that I am here. So, but it's a driver issue. Okay, it's a driver issue. If you have a low, you're up. And if you got that same message like I had, you know, Etho it does not exist or something like that, then it's a driver issue. And if it's driver issue, there's only one place, and that's in the kernel. So that's where we're going to go next. Peace out.